being adopted into the US as a baby, learning English, saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Then one day, you're told you're not a US citizen and that you could be deported to a country that you don't even remember. And since the 1950s, over 200,000 kids were adopted internationally by American families. But here's the messed up part. So for those of you who don't know, the process of international adoption is very complex, and it depends on how you go through with it, whether you're going through a lawyer, an agency, through an intermediary. There are so many different ways that you can go about an adoption. And so unfortunately, there have been quite a few parents that kind of got lost in the shuffle, didn't really understand the laws at the time, didn't consult with an immigration attorney, and whoever was handling their adoption told them that once the adoption was finalized, that the child got automatic citizenship because that child is theirs. And they were told, you adopted them. They're yours now. They're American. That's what they were told, but it wasn't true. And all this paperwork was confusing. And before the Child Citizenship Act of 2000, adoptive parents had to file for a certificate of citizenship or go through the naturalization process. Third reason is there were some adoption agencies that just simply didn't tell the adoptive parents about this. They didn't follow up at all, and they just assumed that the families would figure it out. But people tend to forget that international adoption was portrayed as a way to save poor orphans in need. But the reality is the private infant adoption and international adoption industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. And the more families that they serve and the more adoptions that they push through, the more money that they make. So once those adoptions were finalized, they had gotten what they needed. So there was very little need for them to keep checking in on them. Now, in 2000, the United States passed a Child Citizenship Act. And that's great, right? Except it only help children under 18 at the time. Everyone else, forgotten. You could have been adopted at 6 months old, lived in the United States for 40 years, and still be undocumented to this day. And there have been quite a few of these people who have been deported. Adoptees have been kicked out of the only home they've known. Some can't work, they can't vote, they can't travel, especially now. And some even served in the United States military and still were deported. This isn't a mistake in the United States history. This is a failure of our system. And if you were adopted into this country, you should be a citizen, period. There's a bill, the Adoptee Citizenship Act, that could finally fix this loophole. But it keeps stalling in Congress. And you're probably wondering why, but it isn't about politics. It's about human rights. So share this with someone you know. So make sure you click all of these and keep sharing, tag your representatives, because there needs to be more attention on this.